right before you hopped in, I'm in Texas now full time. So we're going to be moving from what was the time, 8 p.m. Eastern down to 6 p.m.
Yeah, we were doing like 8:30 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
eight thirty.
it was late for me. Yeah,
Yeah, Jason
I
was
got
like falling
it's 4
asleep
p.m. my
during
time, so
four is good. Yeah,
yeah,
yep.
4 is good. We're laughing.
we're all awake.
Well,
Usually,
oh,
the
four,
last
you're
few
up.
episodes, by the end of the episode, I'm like, yeah.
It's like, no, that's
Yeah, I'm
great
Pacific.
topics. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
Pacific
that's where I
Standard. Yeah.
was. Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, so you moving to Vegas wouldn't really be a time zone change then.
1 hour.
Yeah.
You're thinking about moving to Vegas?
Yeah. Coach Hill's been on me for a while now. It just makes sense for me to move there if I move anywhere in the U.S. so I can get some, more one-on-one time with him.
Nice.
Yeah. So it just
Vegas
I
is
love.
popping with bodybuilding.
I love Vegas, man. I really do. I love Vegas for all the reasons that like normal people don't.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going I'm not going to the strip or anything.
Yeah.
But Neil lives in
solitude.
Coach Hill lives in a really nice area. He lives over by Red Rock Canyon. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that. So like we go on hikes. There's a lot of really nice hikes over there that we do. Yeah, it's
a lot
beautiful.
more nice ways to get your steps in.
Yeah.
Like I'm in Florida. Everything's as flat as it can be in Florida. There's nothing. No, you can walk on the beach, but other than that.
Yeah, and the humidity, man. Are you Orlando?
I'm near Daytona.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because when I used to go down there every like 2-3 months back when Flex and Coach Hill were still in Boca Raton. I used to go down there and stay with them for about a week, and then I would hop on a train and take the train down to Tampa, and then Paul Hull would come pick me up, and I'd stay another week with Steele back when I was with Steele.
Yeah.
But the humidity used to just kill me.
It's brutal. It is brutal.
Yeah, you walk outside and you're like your glasses instantly fog up.
Yeah, you just take an extra shirt with you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Do a sweat before you get to your truck.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been down to the Keys?
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah.
Key West is like the most humid, or like the highest humidity I've ever experienced before. That was on another level.
Come train in my garage.
Yeah, I see you in your garage. I'm like, brutal, I bet she's just cooking in there.
It's brutal. It's just like it's like lifting as heavy as you can in a sauna.
Yeah, exactly. What are you weighing at right now, Jason, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm about 240 right now.
Man, you look so much bigger. It's like it's so deceiving. And like the crazy thing about you, I'll never forget the first time I met you in person. I was blown away. You're even bigger in person. Pictures don't do you justice.
I appreciate it, man. Well, poor decision to try and suck back down to 212 earlier this year.
I was surprised to see that because you got big.
Yeah, like that first picture there on the left was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I think I was like 230 in that.
Yeah.
So
still great shape, yeah.
That's what I'm trying my best to hold on to the condition as long as I can. Like I still have some striations in the glutes and deep feathering in the quads. Lower back's still tight, and that's where I'll gain my fat first. My lower back and my glutes will gain everything first.
Yep.
So,
me too.
I mean, I've been holding on to the condition pretty well. Like I think I could. To be honest, I wish there were a couple more shows left in the States. I don't feel like traveling, the world to do a couple shows, but if there was another show in the States, I'd probably get ready for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about doing Texas. I did New York and then Toronto, and then I wanted to do Texas, but I'm still 10 pounds under the gap. Yeah, morning of Toronto I was 202.3. Yeah, so and that was I lost.
You're talking about me looking bigger than I am. You look much bigger than that.
Yeah, thank you. But like, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that was probably about 238 right there.
Yeah, you're just like, I mean, don't get me wrong. You still looked great on on stage this year, but like looking at this photo, there's just so much more life in you, like so much more fullness,
I was
roundness.
so depleted that it took 3 days to fill me out, and I like peaked 3 days post show.
It's like when I used to compete in Classic, I would peak like 3-4 days after the show. We would basically fill me out. It would be a rush to fill me out, and then posing on stage, I would just flatten out. I
That's
even
the thing. You
still to
rush to
this
fill
day,
out, and it never looks the same. It doesn't hold.
especially at that point when body fat's low, you just become a furnace, right? So you need to like increase the fats to slow down that digestion, kind of help things stick, but you don't want to add too much because you still need those lines. You want to showcase that detail. Yeah, like I was 202 the morning of that show in New York.
I honestly, I thought you were gonna win Toronto though.
So New York, I was actually, I don't know if you guys watched the show, but they had me splitting center stage between. They kept moving Francisco and Angel around me. I'll tell you guys what happened in New York, and like ultimately I take full responsibility. But 2 nights before the show, Neil and I were sitting down, and he's like, "Hey, pull up the show schedule and screenshot it and send it to me, please, so I have it." So while I was sitting with him, we went to the New York Pro website, and they have like hotel, venue, tickets, live stream, and then schedule. So when you click on schedule, it's a drop down menu, and it showcased the schedule of the show. So I just took a screenshot of that, and that's what Coach Hill and I were running off of. So I guess there was a separate hyperlink that I just completely missed, and that hyperlink was the actual show running schedule. So the one listed on the website, prejudging A and B, it was split up into 2 groups. Prejudging A was supposed to go women's physique, and then I believe men's physique, wellness, classic, and then 212. The actual show running schedule went women's physique 212. So yeah, Coach Hill, we do self-apply. Yeah, big difference. We put self-apply on Pro-Tan, and Coach Hill likes to put my final coat of tan on me because I'm pretty white, like pretty fair skin. So I put my base coat on Wednesday before the show, and then I put another coat on usually Wednesday night or Thursday morning, and then I start to get darker and darker. So Coach is like, "Let's meet at the hotel no later than 8 a.m. I want to put your final coat of tan on you, and then we'll go from there." So we meet at the hotel. My friends Brandon and Braden were staying at the hotel. Brandon Wara flew in from Florida, and so Coach put my final coat of tan on, and he's like, "Okay, I'm going to go downstairs and check Brandon," because Brandon Hendrickson was competing as well. He's like, "Men's physique should be going on fairly soon. I'm going to text you what I want you to eat. Get this meal in you with about 250 mils of water in you, and then I'll meet you downstairs in like an hour. And then we should still have like 40 minutes before you go on stage." He comes running back into the room. So then he leaves. He comes running back into the room like 5 minutes later, and he's like, "Mate, I've been calling you. Why aren't you answering your phone?" But my phone was in my bag, and I was naked, just drying. My wife was like doing her makeup because she went on. My wife made her pro debut this year, so she did Pittsburgh the weekend before, and then she was in prejudging B for New York. So he's like, "Mate, 212 is lined up at the stairs to go on stage right now. Grab your shit. We have to go." So I was in a full panic. My wife ran with me because my face was still white. So she put makeup on to match my tan, but I grabbed my trunks, threw them on, grabbed my bag, ran downstairs. I was trying to be respectful and not push people out of my way, but I was like racing to get through the expo to backstage. Sure enough, I get backstage and 212 is at the stairs. They're lined up to go out. So they're like, "We've been looking for you." So I jump in line. Usually with my last name, I'm in the first group. Thankfully, I was in the second group. So I jumped in line. I stood there spread while 2 girls glazed me, and Nicole quickly put makeup on my face. When they finished, I dropped down and did 20 push-ups quick, and then I walked straight out on stage. Now, keep in mind, I didn't get to eat that meal. The last time I had ate was a couple hours before, and it was like cream of rice and like egg whites and whole eggs. So my body burned through that fairly quickly. So we go out for comparisons, group comparisons. We make it through that. I'm feeling good. And then they call us all back out. We start doing call outs. So First call out, I'm in the first call out. They put us through a round of posing, and then they put me center, and they didn't move me again. So we finished off that first call out with me center. So we leave, and then I'm stage side, and they go, we're going to do a top four or a final four comparison. Don't go anywhere. Cool. So I'm chilling. Neil comes backstage. He's hyped. He's like, you look great. Like, you know, it's very close. Like, the other guys look great as well. Like, this is going to be a fight. We got to fight for this. And then as I'm talking to him, I start getting super lightheaded. And then I just start pouring sweat. And I realized what was happening. I was going hypo. We don't run insulin to load me or anything like that. Yeah. I had burned through everything that I had stored, basically. So I'm sweating. That sweat is coming straight out of the muscle. I'm taking deep breaths to try and like control my heart rate because I know what's happening, but there's only so much I can do because it's a blood sugar issue. So he's like, "Where's your bag?" And of course, in New York, where they had us waiting while they were going through the rest of the call outs, we're on the opposite end of where backstage is. So I like pointed to backstage. He was never going to find my bag, but I have like honey and bananas and stuff in there. So he's mad dashing around. Now at this point, my ears are ringing. And as I'm taking deep breaths, I'm like, my throat started closing. So I was like, basically my body was going into fight or flight. So one of the stage side ushers had a bottle of iced tea, and Coach Hill grabs it and he's like, drink it all right now. So I drank that, and that opened up my throat almost instantly. I could breathe, wasn't as lightheaded anymore. And he was like, don't go back out. He's like, don't go back out. And I was like, there's no way I'm not going back out. I'm splitting center because I'm not getting a DNF, right? So we go back out, and like as soon as I hit that front relax, I was like Bambi on the ice. I was just shaking, and the whole judging panel was looking at me like they obviously knew something was wrong. So we just did that one round, man. But I think that one round cost me. And I mean, like, hats off to Francisco. He looked incredible. I definitely, when I say this, I don't want to take anything away from anyone else. It was just obviously a very unfortunate circumstance that took place that ended up, I think, costing me for sure a placing. I'm not going to say I was going to win that show, but I mean, based on where they concluded that first call out round, I was center, so it was in the running anyways. But we came back better for finals. Just unfortunately, it was a little too late. So I ended up third in New York.
I 100% know that feeling because that happened to me at the Orlando Pro a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was just...
I melted on stage. As soon as I walk off stage, I just got dizzy as can be, and I almost fell over. Yeah. And yeah, it was the same thing. Like, it was by the end of the rounds of like, I couldn't. They asked for most muscular, and I was like, I couldn't even flex. Like, it was horrible.
By the end of that Final Four comparison, I kept telling myself, don't faint, because I didn't want that to negatively reflect on Coach Hill and I, because it was just, it was ultimately, it boils down to a scheduling issue. But again, ultimately, that's, as a professional athlete, I should, double, triple check that I know, even if I thought I knew what time I was going on, but I should have triple checked, man. So ultimately I take responsibility. And then I talked to Tyler Mannion after the show, and he's like, I heard what happened. You're going to come do Toronto in 3 weeks, right? And I was like, Tyler, I wasn't planning on doing Toronto, to be honest with you. I was going to wait and do Chicago. And he's like, no. He's like, you got to come do Toronto. He's like, you're ready. It's 3 weeks away. He's like, I'll be judging in Toronto again. He's like, if you show up in Toronto how you showed up here in finals, he's like, you should win that show. So we go to Toronto, and then my dear friend Courage shows up, makes the 212 debut, and I'm a huge fan of Courage and his shape and structure, beautiful physique. So I knew it was going to be a battle with him. And I ended up beating Francisco in Toronto, but Courage took that win by a 1-point split decision.
Yeah, and I love Courage's physique too. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but I had you winning that.
I thought they would give me the nod for conditioning, because I think there was quite a gap between
There was,
Courage
for
and I
sure.
in
Yep.
conditioning. But Courage is just, he's got that full round muscle bellies, and it's hard to beat that, right?
Yeah, but this is my personal opinion. Like I said, I love Courage's physique. I think he was amazing, but I feel like he still needed another year before he actually fit in the 212.
Yeah, I felt, I felt really bad because Toronto's home turf, right? I'm the Canadian guy on the Canadian stage, and when they called me for second, that the whole building booed. I felt bad
Yeah,
for him.
that's never
I
a
was
good
like,
thing. Like, no matter what, like,
yeah, dude, I didn't want that to take away from his moment. That's a big moment for him, right? But he talks about it here. But
he actually talked about the booing and stuff.
yeah, if you play the audio on this clip, he talks about it.
I'm standing there like, I
Can you
swear I'm
hear
a
it?
nice guy.
Yeah, if
Did you hear
you
that?
start it over.
A lot of people in the crowd that
Okay.
Yeah, here you go.
yeah, Cody's Canadian. A lot of those people there were friends and family. Half the judges known him since he was 14. So it was his town that when they called him for second, they actually booed. And I'm standing there like, I swear I'm a nice guy. Just like, please don't stone me. There's a lot of people crowd that are into bodybuilding. If that makes sense. Because sometimes you go to other videos, half people on their own, they were actually tuned into the show, and then you get applauses even though they don't know who you are if you impress them, if that makes sense. Yeah, they're actually fans. Like, because I was there alone. I don't have any. Like, I was like, I had no one in the audience. It's just me chilling, and I'm just up there. I just show up. He's like, oh, he's on the list. He's like, okay, I'm doing the show, by the way, guys. And so it was a thing where getting like an applause. I'm like, oh, hey, thank you, kind of thing. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I felt bad because that crowd was rowdy. If you go to my page,
Yeah.
you'll see. I think I posted some comparisons. It'll be a little bit further down. Keep going.
Like that or no?
There's a video. Keep going down. Okay, this is a video, but I have some stills that I posted right there. If you cycle through that center one right there. Yeah, right there. So I think I won the back shots pretty decisively from a conditioning standpoint.
Not even just conditioning, you just more complete from the back, I think.
Yeah. I think the next one's a back double. The front shots though, like I like the front shots I can see, like here you can see the conditioning discrepancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the quads.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just got a really nice shape, and like you said, the bubbly round muscles.
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? Like, was it a tough pill to swallow? Absolutely. Did I understand it? Of course.
Who is that on the right?
That's Mike Kondo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got my redemption against
yeah.
Mike because Mike beat me in South Florida the 2 years before. The year before. Yeah. And you can see Coach Hill and I, we push the conditioning pretty well. And I think sometimes as a result, I lose some fullness. So I think if we sacrifice a little bit of conditioning and aim for a fuller package, I think it'll do me a little bit better. But
I still feel like you're more complete here.
Yeah. The crazy thing is I'm 10 pounds under the cap, right?
Yeah, that's wild.
A lot of these guys a lot of these guys are pretty close to the cap. So after Toronto, Coach Hill and I sat down and I was like, hey, what do you think about going to Texas? And he's like, we could do Texas. He's like, but look at it this way. Texas is another 8 weeks away, right? The Olympia. So let's say best case scenario, if all goes well, we win Texas, which is, of course, isn't a guarantee. But let's say, for the sake of the conversation, I win Texas. That's 8 weeks away from Toronto. The Olympia is another like 10 weeks after that. So that's like another 18 weeks that we're pushing, we're keeping you in a calorie deficit. That time can be spent growing because when we go to the Olympia, the size that you need now, we still need that size to be competitive at the Olympia. He's like, so let's get a jump start on growing for next year. Let's give your body a break. Let's clean out. Let's get blood work done, and then let's push for next year. And if we can add another 4 or 5 pounds of tissue in time for next year, he's like, that'll put you in a very positive position for next year's contest season. So that's ultimately what we decided to do.
It's hard mentally for us to do that, but it is necessary sometimes for sure.
Yeah, it was like a definitely a bittersweet decision for me, but I felt like, long term it was the right move to make.
Yeah. And that's another kind of where I was at right now. I think me and Josh talked about it last episode, where I was like, man, I thought about going down and doing the Mexico Pro Show like the week after the Olympia. Just
get that early qualification.
Yeah. In the year on a better note than those 212 shows, but then I was like, I know in the long run, it'd be better to take the time and do it properly and really come in next year and play
the long game.
Bring an absolutely improved physique. And mentally, it's hard. I want to end the year on a better note.
Yeah. I hear you there. And the crazy thing is, so when after Toronto, we came off everything, kept me on a low dose of test, just to an elevated TRT 250. And the heaviest I was last off season was 233. I was 235 and a half when I tore my pec, still not on blast yet, and still not pushing yet. So I just that rebound phase, I was just dialed. I just stayed dialed. I just followed. We were on my high carb diet that I was on in prep. We just stayed on that daily, and then I would have a cheat on the weekend. But we just rode out that rebound phase, and I jumped up to 235, and then this happened. But even with this, the past couple of weeks, I tapered the calories down because I wasn't training. I got some pretty good news about the pec. So I'm bumping the calories back up, and I'm still 232. So I'm basically, even with this injury, I'm about the heaviest that I was last off season. So, and the news that I just got about the pec tear is very, very positive. So this has been kind of a minor speed bump where we had to pull back a little bit, but we salvaged the off season. We could still grow and improve in time for next year, because when my bruising started to set in, the biggest concern was, am I going to need surgery? And if I need surgery, that pretty much writes off the next year's contest season, at least the first half of the year anyways.
I'm glad you don't have to have surgery. So.
Yeah. So basically, I can jump into that now, Josh.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
If we want. So it was just a normal day, man. A totally normal day. I was training. It was a push day. It was a critical error that I made, and it was basically, it's just complacency. But I started out my chest workout with cable flies. I got a really good pump, really good warm up. I did about 5 or 6 sets of cable flies, and then I moved into incline bench press. I've stayed away from barbell bench my whole career, just because I know that barbell bench is one of the number one exercises for pec tears. But I've got really strong at dumbbell pressing. I can rep 150s for 20 reps. And that 150s is the heaviest the dumbbells go to my gym. So I've become really strong at dumbbells, almost to the point where now I have to get people to pass me the dumbbells. And then when I'm rocking them backwards, I'm almost in a compromised position, more prone to injury. So my thought process was, you know what, I'll change the stimulus. We'll start doing barbell bench. I'm not going to be as strong as I am with dumbbells. I'll slowly just build up from there. So I'd been barbell benching for 2-3 months. And then this particular day warmed up well. When I moved into pressing, though, now it's obviously a different movement pattern. So where I went wrong is I put on a plate, just touched it for 3-4 reps, 2 plates, 3-4 reps, 3 plates, 10 slow, controlled, easy reps. So I was like, okay, we'll do 365 and then I'll do a back off set and we'll move on to the next exercise. And that's normal for me. I've been touching 365 for the past couple months. So first 2 reps felt great. Third rep, on the way back up in the concentric movement, I felt a pop as I was going up. So I locked my elbows out at the top and I thought to myself, I'm like, that does not feel good. So I couldn't rack it where it was. I needed to move it down a little bit. But the moment that I bent my elbows, it just went pop, 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 pop. And I lost I completely like gave out strength on the left side. And so it felt like I could feel my shoulder separating away from my chest. So I leaned with it. In the split second that it happened, I leaned to the left. I completely let go with my left arm, which I think was my saving grace. And I just cranked my right wrist forward to rack it. And so the bar slammed down and I jumped up right away and I grabbed my pec. And I was like, I just tore my pec. I'd never felt a sensation like that before. It was like I felt my pec fibers being stretched like elastics, and I just felt them snap one by one. I could feel it letting go, snap, 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 snap.
Wow.
And so when I ran to the mirror, it ballooned right away. It swelled up right away like this. So, but it was just a one portion of my pec, like the pec major. And I was like, my pec's deformed. My career's over. I'm like, this is it. It's over. Like my mind went worst case scenario right away. So there was a young guy in the gym and I said, hey, I was like, I got to get you to take those plates off for me. I just tore my pec. I got to go home. So I drove straight home. I shot a full vial of BPC and TB 500 straight into that pec, put my arm in a sling. I made a meal, started icing it, ate, and then I drove to the hospital. So the healthcare system here in Canada, you always hear like there's a lot of praise online where it's like, oh,
slow, right?
Yeah, but it's like, oh, healthcare in Canada is free. First of all, it's not free. We pay for it in taxes. Believe me, we pay for it in taxes. But I sat in the ER for 4 hours for them to tell me that they couldn't do any imaging there. So they had to book me in at the radiology clinic, which wasn't until the following week. It was like 8 or 9 days after I tore it. So I was stressing about that because I wanted a diagnosis, because if I was like, if I need surgery, I need to get this done ASAP. I can't wait.
Right.
So I tried to pay and go private, and they couldn't get me in any sooner. So I waited, I got the imaging done, and I asked the ultrasound tech, I said, I know you're not supposed to tell me because these results need to get sent off to my family doctor, and then my family doctor will call me in. But off the record between you and I was like, what are your thoughts? Like, do you think I need surgery? And she's like, I think you're very lucky. I don't think you need surgery. She's like, but with that said, I can't say definitively because you have more muscle tissue than the average person. So she's like, she was showing me, she's like, here I can see tearing, but she's like, I lose it when the tendons kind of intertwine into the insertion point. She's like, I lose it. So she's like, I recommend you get an MRI. And the MRI will tell you for sure. So fast forward to a few days later, the nice thing is we have like a My Health Records app. So I can log into the app and I can see all my blood work results, any labs that I've had done, surgery recs, whatever. And so my rec said that I had a 1.5 centimeter tear in the muscle belly at the sternal attachment, which is good news because it's not tendon, so no surgery. However, the bad news is, as you know, there's nothing that can be done surgically to repair a muscle belly tear. So I was a little bit stressed out because when I kind of hit like a hands clasp, most muscular, my pec looked deformed. It wasn't as full and round in the bottom. It kind of went up on an angle. So I was a little bit stressed out, but already from the peptide protocol that I'm running, plus I've just been like doing kind of like isometric flexing or posing in a sense, just no weight, just kind of forcing blood through there. And I'm getting a weekly active release therapy to help break up scar tissue and just move more blood through there. But from this peptide protocol that I'm running, I have full mobility back already. This is the pec that I tore. I have full mobility. I actually went to the gym today and just did like single arm bicep curls, tricep push downs. I did partial side laterals and front raises, and it felt good. It's a little bit. It's not 100%, of course, but I'm very happy, man. I consider myself very lucky.
Before that, was it just leg day every day?
Wow.
Yeah, I've just been training legs. The first leg session back was a little bit tough because I couldn't grab things to brace myself for like quad extensions, for example. I would be like lifting up and I couldn't brace myself. But fast forward to now, like I just trained legs yesterday. Legs are 100%. Like I'm training
one of those gym
100%
pin
now.
seat belts.
I have one.
Yeah,
I have one.
You do?
So, yeah, I do.
Oh, I've been wanting to get
they're
one.
awesome. Yeah, they're awesome. So,
is it a discount code Drobot or is it?
No, I don't have a code, but
Lowe?
I have a gym pin and I have a seatbelt, and they're
no.
awesome.
He's asked me if I wanted a code before, but I'm like, dude, I just love your products. I don't need to.
Yeah, me too.
I'll promote them for you. I'll use them, but I don't need to sell them.
Yeah.
I'll tell people where I got them.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, man. So I'm very fortunate, very, very fortunate, because Neil had actually tore his pec tendon 50%, and he had next to no bruising. So he innocently was just checking up on me Wednesday. So I tore it Monday. I had no bruising Monday, no bruising Tuesday. Wednesday morning, Neil messages me and he's like, hey, how are you feeling? I'm just checking in. Do we have any bruising yet? So the bruising was about the size of a fist on my outer pec, and then it bled into my armpit. So when I sent him the picture, he's like, you need surgery. He's like, fuck. He's like, you need surgery. Like, he was panicking more than me, and it was starting to stress me out. And he's like, man, we had such a good year this year. He's like, I can't see you being able to compete next year. He's like, I think you're going to need surgery. But, thankfully that didn't end up being the case. So I think next week I'm going to be trying some back movements. I don't think I'll be doing any pull downs anytime soon until I'm able to actually train chest. But all things considered, man, the rate of progression of my recovery right now with these peptides that I'm running is just amazing.
Nice. So you're doing BPC, TB500. What else?
Yeah, so I've been doing BPC, TB500, GH, IGF-1LR3, and GHKCU, and some TA1.
Okay, I haven't done the TA1.
So that was, so shout out Dom Kuza, actually, because Dom, my friend Braden reached out to Dom. Dom sent me a protocol because Dom tore his pec, and he sent me the protocol that he ran right after he had surgery. And all of these peptides, help reduce inflammation, help promote new blood vessels, so more oxygen and nutrient delivery. They help with elasticity, scar tissue, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do. I'm nursing a shoulder right now, but it's not torn. At least I haven't gotten it checked. But it's I think it's really more just when I hit a hard chest and shoulder workout and then I sleep on it weird. If I wake up and I can't really move my arm and it hurts, it's like sharp pain in certain movements. But yeah, I'm going through some TB and BPC right now, and
the TA1 is good for inflammatory reduction and like immune response.
Yeah. So
the TA1 is, I think it's
peptides out there for
healing, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's funny because peptides have been around for decades, but the general public is just now starting to understand the benefits of them and kind of catch wind of them.
How bad does that KCU hurt going in, though?
To be honest, man, I'm it's kind of a double-edged sword. So I have a really high pain tolerance. So I don't really get pip from anything, like even
that's the only one. That one gets me.
Yeah, I'm pretty fortunate. But the reason I say it's a double-edged sword is because if I am feeling pain, something's really wrong.
Yeah,
like I'll give you I'll give you an example. I had a dental procedure done a couple years ago, and I didn't know that this was happening. But years ago, I had a dental procedure done on one of my teeth here, and there was they gave me like antibiotics and stuff, but I ended up getting a little bit of an infection up in the gum that I wasn't aware about because I didn't have any pain whatsoever. So I years later, I ended up having to go to a specialist, and the infection formed an abscess, and the abscess actually made I had bone that was receding in my jaw.
Jeez.
So the dentist was like, he's like, "You're not in any pain," and I was like, "No, none, zero." And he's like, "You should be in extreme pain." He's like, "You literally have bone receding. Your bone is like deteriorating because of that abscess." So they had to go in. They had to do like a full flush, clean it out. And then after a year, I went for a checkup to see if that bone was growing back, and it did grow back.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You see the movie Kick-Ass?
Yeah.
This guy's got no nerve endings. He doesn't feel any pain.
Yeah. That's why, dude, like I said, it's a double-edged sword sometimes.
Oh. Well, it's good you're healing, man. What is the plan? Are you just like kind of going to feel this out as you heal and see where your body goes?
Based on how I feel right now, assuming of course the rate of progression of this recovery continues on the trajectory that it's on, I should be back to training chest. I'll of course have to take it easy, but I'll be training chest, I figure, in another couple weeks, which will be about 4 weeks post tear. So the original plan, I think, is still in play, and we'll do New York again next year.
Okay.
I need some
See,
redemption.
that's honestly that
We keep
Oh, I
losing
think we
Josh.
lost. I think we lost
Yeah.
Josh.
He just moved to Texas. He probably hasn't gotten the internet
Hey.
locked down yet.
I think just last night.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
well, New York, that's cool. I'm trying to decide. I would love to do a show early in the year too. I just don't know if that's enough time to really improve to be in the open,
Right.
So,
Yeah. New York is the first show of the calendar season in North America for 212.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the first one. So
Yeah. I was looking at Detroit, but they made it even earlier next year.
when do you know when they have it?
It's before the Arnold now.
Oh wow, so like February.
Yeah, it's like the second to last weekend in February now.
Man, Fuad's killing it with that show.
I know. It's such a good looking show that I would love to do it. I just don't know. That's so early,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to be ready for that, but I would love to do it. Otherwise, I might end up doing like Toronto again or something.
Okay.
That was a fun show. I really enjoyed Toronto. So
yeah, Canada needs more pro shows, man. Toronto's the only pro show that has 212 in the whole country.
What happened to Vancouver?
To be that show on the coast there in Vancouver, man, the cost of living there it's insane. It really is. So I know the first year that they had the Vancouver Pro Show, it was actually downtown Vancouver at the convention center off the water. It was a beautiful venue. But I would imagine that's a pretty penny
They
to
weren't
even
making any money off of it.
No, exactly. So it ended up moving to Coquitlam. It was in Coquitlam for a few years, and then it kept moving farther and farther away. And then I think word kind of got back to the Manions, and they were like, "Hey, like you need to move this show back to Vancouver," because Abbotsford, where it has been the last couple of years, with traffic, that's 2 hours outside of Vancouver.
And there's no airports near there.
Actually, there is an airport in Abbotsford, but the issue is like I had one of my buddies come and do that show, Eric Janecki. Yeah. And when he booked everything around Vancouver, like Airbnb and stuff in Vancouver, only to find out that the venue's in Abbotsford, which is without traffic, it's like 45 minutes to an hour. With traffic, you're like, it's 2 hours easy.
Yeah.
So, but I did see she moved it back to a new venue this year. The venue looked great. It's in a theater, which is awesome. So I hope she can
put bodybuilding back in it.
Yeah, bring that show back to life, and it can grow. I feel for her, man, because
we also lost Chicago last year for open bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You know.
So how many open shows is there in the calendar year? I think 212 has 20. I think we have 20 shows.
I don't know, because you got all the European shows and everything. So
right.
I'm not sure. I never really look at those because I'm like, you know, if I was a a top 5 guy like 100%, then I think it'd be worth going over and doing a European show. So I'm not going to drop the money to fly over to a European show as much as I would love to. And then, like, fingers crossed, I get top 5. I want to go over there, and I'm like, I better be battling in the top 3 for sure.
Yes, yeah, of course. Yeah, and that's like those European guys. They're beasts.
Yeah, these last couple shows, man. These last
a lot of big boys. A lot of big boys out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I am happy they changed the rules on qualification, but there's still, even with the new rules and qualifications, I saw something.
I don't think it really impacts Open in 212. I know for sure it doesn't impact 212.
Yeah, but even the other divisions, I just saw something where people were showing how many people will still end up qualifying. It's still going to be like 40-something people in each division.
Yeah, because I think the other divisions, there's a point system, and then you have to win 2 shows to automatically qualify. Yeah.
But then it's still like there's so many shows in the other divisions, there's still going to end up be like 40 to 50 people on stage.
Well, and then you look at classic and bikini and men's physique.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think the rules changed for 212 and Open.
No, I don't think it impacts us at all.
Which I almost kind of wish it did, because I
still a good amount of people though.
Shows and get like top 5 at all the shows and end up qualifying for the Olympia.
You know what though? I think it's good in the sense that it's making people compete more, which I think is great.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Which I want to get to a
Hopefully
place where I can do that anyways, you know. I want to compete more, but I know I still need to make progress. So it's hard to find the balance between I need to make improvements, but I want to compete multiple times.
Right.
Like, I don't get some of these people that have more than enough muscle. Like, you see some people like, Samson had that a couple years where he was doing so many shows and stuff like that, and somehow still making improvements while he was doing that. But even like, you see these people that don't really need to make size improvements, they just need to refine their physique. If I was at that stage, I'd be doing multiple shows for sure.
That's how you refine. Yeah. It's always interesting, right? Because when people think genetics, they think shape and structure. That's what they think when they think of genetics. But there's a genetic component people have to like their ability to put on muscle tissue. So there's more factors that come into play when we're talking about the topic of genetics. Some people have the ability to just grow and put on tissue. Some people have the ability to like run drugs for an extended period of time without it impacting negatively on their blood work. So I always find that interesting.
And then you have the people that can just get grainy, nasty condition a lot easier than some other people. They might have a harder time putting on the size, but they're going to bring in that conditioning and that detail.
Yeah, they have that hard grainy look.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of floating somewhere in the middle of all of that. I don't have one thing that's fantastic. I'm just floating somewhere in the middle of all of it.
Oh, yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you.
But, so, what happened this week? Oh, we had the Germany show this year. Or this
Germany,
week.
Yeah. So, my internet must be very delayed. So
that's when you fell off. We're like, well, he just moved to Texas. He hasn't gotten it all that.
Yeah.
We kept it rolling.
I have satellite. I appreciate it, guys. True professionals.
Yeah.
I got this satellite internet right next to me, but it's somehow hanging in there. But yeah, we had the Germany Pro. I didn't actually get to watch it because I was driving, but I saw the results. And what were your guys' takeaways from the show?
I think they were both improved from Italy.
Agree.
And I was really hoping Quint would finally get it. He's worked his ass off and he's improved every show and was just refining everything. But last Italy, I didn't agree with it. I thought Quint should have won. And in this one, I can understand how Urs got it.
Yeah.
He came in
That's
sharper. There was more detail.
That's tough for Quentin, man. Quentin's a buddy of mine, and like you said, Jason, he's been working. And I thought that he might have done enough to seal the win with this one, but I mean I also understand why Urs won, and good for Urs, man, to move up and have the success that he's having right now is great. I think it's one of those situations where it's like, I think people would have been happy if Quentin won, but I don't think people are upset that Urs won either. Like, I think it's that close.
Yeah. I also think it might have been a situation like you in Toronto, because that was Germany, and that's Urs's hometown area. So
I didn't get the hometown. I didn't get the hometown turf nod. So
yeah, but I would have hated to see Quint finally win and then get booed too.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have booed, but I know there would have been some people, like, with it being Germany, and Urs being there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a solid show.
Roman,
but the guy that got third, if you find the guy that got third, I'm blanking on his name right now, but I think he shocked third? A lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
The guy standing in that picture with Urs, the guy standing next to him.
He's right there in the
He's on the right there.
Yeah, 132.
Yeah.
Is it this one?
Yeah, dude. Watch him walk out in this video. Like, dude, that's conditioning was on point. Just
very complete.
He's a little like narrow clavically, I guess, but other than that, like, incredible. Like, conditioning, physique, everything's there. He's gonna be a threat.
We saw him improving. What was the other show he did?
I think did he do a show like early this year, or like maybe Dubai or something? Well, he lost Josh again. Hopefully he gets that the internet figured out by next week. But yeah, I thought that guy looked incredible.
Yeah, he did. Very much improved from the last time that he was on stage as well. Big improvements from the year before to this year.
Yeah. Then I don't remember. You had Mark Hector, and then
Mark Hector. Was Sergio in that last one as well?
No, Sergio didn't do this one.
Okay, he was in the one before.
Yeah, he decided to stay in Italy and eat a bunch of pizza and ice cream.
I mean, he's been making some strides in his physique as well.
He just never seems to nail it on the show day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I completely understand how that feels. But
you know what? I almost wonder if it's a stress factor.
I was thinking the same thing, because he seems like
I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself.
Yeah.
And he gets a lot of flack on social media. I think people love to hate on Sergio.
Yeah.
So I think he's like, wants to shut those guys up and prove them wrong. And I think maybe it kind of starts to weigh on him negatively. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. And then I think the problem is, and we all have to deal with this, is that he lets those comments get to him. He responds to them.
Yeah.
And then he gets more of them because people get a response out of them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and
I get it, like, every now and then. Most of the time, I'll ignore 99% of those comments every now and then, especially when you're deep in prep and you just took a Halo or something.
And you're sitting on the toilet. You have some time.
Yeah. You start responding to stuff and you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I've gotten so many comments like that I responded to on TikTok. Like, I got flagged for them. They just delete all my comments. I'm like, why am I even doing this? They just delete all my
dude. To be honest, I very rarely engage, and when I do engage, I always regret it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like you said, I think that's one of his problems is he stresses about that, and it definitely hurts him on show day.
Yeah,
but I don't remember who else was in that top five. Mark Hector was fourth, right? And then you had
who placed fifth?
Yeah, I'm blanking. Was it?
Maybe Josh can pull up the results.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. Oh,
Who was 6th at Italy? I'm blanking on his name.
Amir?
Crazy amount of muscle. Conditioning
Amir?
is insane. He just doesn't have the prettiest shape.
I think it was Amir, right?
Oh, did Amir jump into that top 5? He might have.
I'm gonna share the screen, and I'm sure it's just gonna kick me off.
Hopefully it smooths out. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Amir jumped into that
Amir.
top 5. And then I was thinking of Lewis Breed. Yeah, Lewis Breed was after him.
It was cool to see Urs give Roman his flowers.
Dude, Roman's impressive. Just the fact that he's working off 2 hip replacements and still has insane legs.
Still giving her, yeah.
And he did like a 5-week prep for the show.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. It's wild.
He just stays so peeled all the time.
I think Joe is
Roman,
retired. Yeah, I think Joe is retired from competing.
Yeah, from all the videos I've seen from him, it looks like he's
another
hung up
Canadian
the
boy.
Posing trunks.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a lot of videos on peptides and stuff now.
Really good quality as well.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's very informative. He's very like knowledgeable with them and stuff like that. He's doing well.
Yeah. I'm looking into it right now. I'm going to kind of start my, enhanced journey with peptides, and hopefully that can help with at least getting to a good baseline to, I'd like to do a show. I think with peptides, I technically wouldn't be able to do like I don't know. I've done natural shows before, but it'd be fun just to do an NPC show, just wet my feet.
Yeah. You're in a good place.
It looks like now. Xavier Willis.
Yeah.
You're in a good place.
Yeah, I know
now,
where I've got some super knowledge around me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I could find a good spot in Dallas to get some solid peptides.
Well, the peptides you can get, like, I'm with Straight Labs, and you can get any of those peptides pretty easily. But yeah, you're going to be surrounded by so much good bodybuilding in Texas there.
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. Travel to Dallas often and kind of see what's up out there. Network with the guys. Hopefully get some good podcast guests on. Should be good.
Yeah. That'll
Xavier Wills, desktop bodybuilding.
Oh yeah, I just saw that pop up. It must be a little delayed.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted him to join, but he was busy.
One of my first ever interviews I did was with Xavier. Like years ago. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure if I turned pro yet or if it was like right when I turned pro. Yeah, Xavier brought me on. Great guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's been
solid.
He's been dealing with all kinds of stress. That poor guy, man. Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. I hope he gets his kids here soon, because what a nightmare he's been dealing with.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
couldn't.
All right. Well, me and Josh talked about it last week, but you weren't here, Cody. So who do you have winning the Olympia?
Always a good question. Yeah.
Open Olympia.
Yeah.
Open.
I mean,
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Samson right now, because the biggest knock on Samson is people want to see him sharper. And that guest posing that he just did, he was sharp. Yeah. He was sharper, right? So I think that's a very good sign. A lot of people are like, "Oh, he's not as big."
He's
flat.
Like the guest posing.
Yeah, like it's so funny. The bodybuilding fans, and every sports avenue has like your casual fans. We'll say casual fans that don't really understand all the ins and outs that go into peaking for a show. And dude, he looks great there. So I think if he shows up and is like the most shredded, complete version of Samson, it's gonna be very tough to beat him, man.
Yeah, very,
very tough to beat him. So
I agree.
I think I would love to see him hold on to that title. I'm gonna say Samson I'm going to say Samson will hold on to the title, but it's an exciting year, man, because Nick is back in the mix and he shakes up that lineup.
And he's looking crazy.
Crazy. So, I mean, Hottie just landed in the U.S., so Hottie's in, which is awesome. Nick, Derek, you know, we got Martin, Andrew.
Yeah. Anyone you think that might surprise somebody and jump into even that, you know, that top 7, 8?
I'm very curious to see where Urs is going to place. I think Urs has to bring up his back, to crack that top 5. I think, but it also wouldn't. Yeah, I'm gonna say, and like I'm a fan of Urs and his physique and his character. It would be so cool to see him in that top 5. But I mean, to bump out like an Andrew or a Martin, I don't know if he's quite there yet. Yeah, it's tough, man.
Tonio.
Tonio.
I was just going to respond to that comment that you just had up, but I think a lot of people were saying that kind of similar thing about Keon before Keon started finally nailing the conditioning. Keon was winning shows off his shape and his bubbly round muscle and everything. Then he nailed the conditioning and he's been unstoppable. So I think Samson can do the same thing.
Oh, Xavier's saying that that's fake news. Hottie doesn't have his visa yet.
Shoot.
I hate when people do that, man, because I saw a video of him and Hani hugging. But now that Xavier just said that, I think that's an old clip from last year when he touched down last year. Yeah.
Well, hopefully he makes it.
I hope so, man. I think
heartbreaking
it's gonna be really,
if he can't.
I think it's gonna be really tough with everything that's going on politically right now. But man, I hope he gets in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you almost don't even want to do predictions without him.
The predictions.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be a very tough, hard, like top 6. I think this year. I mean,
yeah, that's
Nick, Hottie, Derek, Martin. I mean, it's gonna be. I think the top 5 are almost pretty locked in. Unless somebody just comes in and shocks everybody.
Well, here's the thing. With Nick being in that mix now, it wouldn't surprise me. And like, I hope this doesn't get clipped and come across negative, because I don't mean that. Andrew's a phenomenal bodybuilder head to toe.
I won't clip it.
I think with Nick in the mix now, I think a question is who's getting bumped out now. And unless Andrew comes in shape, he could very well get bumped out of that top 5 now.
People are already saying this, so don't feel bad. Like, it's for Andrew Jack, it's his time to either prove it or, he's going to lose it in terms of top 5.
Yeah.
Well, and if you look at his show earlier this year, he didn't prove anything there. I mean,
yeah.
He did not come in at his best by any means. So
no, I think the best look that we've seen from him is when he won Texas.
Yeah. His Texas packages have always been good.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's tough. Hopefully Hottie makes it. I wasn't expecting Beirut to be able to get it as much as
dude, that poor guy, man. He's been trying for years now and has just been in a pending state. It's a shame, man, because that's another great bodybuilder.
But he's also former military over there and everything, and that makes it even harder for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's tough, because I'd love to see him up there in the mix. I think he could mix up in the top 10.
Yes.
He'd be there battling with like Tonio and so I'm excited to see what Jordan Hutchinson does too.
Yeah, Jordan. Sure. What a year for Jordan too.
Yeah, I think he could mix up that top 10.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, I, to be honest, I think this is going to be one of the most exciting Olympias that we've had in recent memory.
Yeah, I'm pumped. That's what kind of why I was getting FOMO. I was like, finally, I was just like, screw it, I'm just going.
Yeah. Are you and the missus going?
Yeah, this is going to be her first flight since her back injury, so I'm hoping that everything goes well with her.
How's she doing?
She's getting better. She's been doing her PT. She's, going for walks and everything and trying to get as much as she can in. So, little by little, it's getting better.
It's good.
It went from her being laid up on the couch on a heating pad all day long, couldn't even sit up long enough to eat a meal. And, now she can take the dog for a walk. She took her lunch break and did 30 minutes on the treadmill on her lunch break,
Good.
So it's getting better.
It's good.
Doing everything she can to not have to get surgery.
Yeah.
So, and I've been pumping the BPC and TB500 in her too.
Yeah. That'll help with pain too, right?
Yeah. So I'll definitely load her up on that before we fly out to Vegas for that.
Has anyone heard about Rami at all? Is
I don't think he's doing anything.
No, I haven't seen any pictures.
No.
I expect him to do the Arnold.
Yeah, he might do something next year, but I don't think he's doing anything this year. Thank you.
I don't think so.
What I'm really excited to see is Keon. What Portugal's 3 weeks after the Olympia.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yep.
So he's
I think it's a week. It's 1 or 2 weeks post Olympia.
Is it 2? I think it's I was thinking 2 or 3, but either way, I think like he'll come in shredded for the Olympia, and then he'll be able to rebound a little bit into that show, and we're gonna see a version of him that we've just never seen before. And I'm good friends with Keon. He updates me here and there. What I will say is what I've seen from him right now is, pardon my language, is fucking phenomenal. Like it's phenomenal, man. It really is. Like as a fan of bodybuilding, when I see Keon, the shape and structure that he has is like cartoonesque.
Yeah.
And like where he's at mentally now, like just locked in. I think Amanda's been great for him. I think they're obviously great for each other.
She's doing it too with him.
She's looking phenomenal as well.
The show too. Yeah.
I think that's probably why he decided, you know what, I might as well jump in it if Amanda's doing it. She's looking incredible as well. Yeah. I think this is her last year. And if it is, she's going out with a bang because she looks really good right now.
She looks really good. Yeah.
Really good. Very impressive. And she coaches herself too, if I'm not mistaken.
Does she?
Oh yeah, he actually posted an update for her, and you're right, she does look great.
Yeah, she looks great, man.
Look at that! Holy cow!
Yeah.
That's
what a power couple.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what the
I
trophies.
wish I looked that good.
The trophies that they hand out look like that.
It might have been. Yeah, she says coaching herself, checking in with Coach Me.
Yeah.
But then I think it's this post maybe, or it might have been on her story, but she was like, "Now we just hold this." Like she's like, "I'm ready. Now we just hold this look until."
I was talking to her the other day, and I think basically with her, where her and Keon are at right now, is just maintaining.
Yeah. That's a good place to be in. Several weeks
that's
out.
Bodybuilding, man. That's exactly where you want to be, and they're having fun with it. They're both killing it. They're both having fun with it, doing it together. I think it's amazing.
So Prague is October 26th.
Okay, so like 20 days or something post Olympia, right around there.
The Olympia is the 11th, right? So that'd be
okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that'd only be like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah, which is perfect.
So yeah, it gives them enough time to just kind of maintain that conditioning and then fill out a little more.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Now the question is, if Keon wins Open, does he do the Open Olympia? Or we know he's still staying 212, but like, do you at least try?
He says he won't do it. Yeah. He says he's going to go back to 212. He just wants to do the Open, but
I mean, like, here's the thing, right? It'll be hard if you get that Open Olympia qualification. I know he's building a legacy in the 212 division, right? And I think that's awesome. I think it's great for the 212 division. But I mean, if he gets that qualification, the prize money discrepancy is quite significant. So, I mean, as long as he's placing in the top 5 at the Open Olympia, he's making more money than he is when he wins the 212.
Right.
But what I will say with Keon, though, Keon, he'll do it on his own terms.
For sure.
He'll do it on his own terms. If he wants to build a legacy in 212 and get as many titles as he can, he'll do that. So
if I was
it'll
him, I would be jumping into the Arnold next year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing
Oh,
him,
please, for the love of God,
that'd be
please.
amazing.
Yeah.
But the way he thinks, like Cody was just saying, he's building a legacy. He's going to do it on his own terms, his own timing.
Yep.
And I guarantee he's thinking, you know, $750,000 at the Arnold is incredible. In the next year or two, though, it's going to be $1 million, and he'll look better.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, he's doing it the right way. He's not rushing anything, and he even
exactly.
He even said for Prague that he's like, I'm probably going to weigh about the same as I do at the Olympia. I'm not going to try and come in and an extra 10 pounds heavier or 15 pounds heavier just because I'm going to do open. I'm going to bring my best look.
And this is what a lot of people don't understand. He's not suffering to make weight in 212.
No, last year he was like 200 pounds.
Like people look at him and they're like, oh, he's got to be close to the cap, but he still has room.
Because he looks 230.
Yeah, so why rush it, right? Like he just needs to continue to do what he's doing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I've made the exact opposite decisions in making mistakes throughout my career. I'm like, I rushed to jump into open when I wasn't ready.
Yeah,
you know, and stuff. So like, if I could go back, I would do it more similar to how Keon's doing it right now. Take my time and make slow progress and go into the open when I know I'm ready.
Right.
Mm.
So it's gonna be awesome to see, though. But
yeah,
there's gonna be good competition too. He's got, from what I've heard, Beirut is gonna do Prague. Crizzo's doing Prague.
Crizzo, yep.
I don't know who else.
One other big name.
That's a couple of big guys right there.
Yeah,
you know?
there will be a handful of
guys.
Like,
locked in.
A handful of guys that did the Olympia will all go, and they'll go
for sure. Yeah, try and get it. They're already in shape. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be cool to see him next to some of those Olympians, though.
Hey, as a spectator, I'm excited.
Yeah,
exactly. It's going to be a show. It's going to be a show. I'm excited for it. So,
yep, it'll be fun. This whole year has been very good for bodybuilding. I think.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of entertaining, especially these last few shows. The lineups have been so big. It's so wild. This late in the year.
It's going to be interesting to see. Courage moving up to 212, moving to open. It's going to be interesting to see how many guys get influenced to make the switch.
Yeah.
So I think that's great for bodybuilding across the board as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I see a lot of people talking about, why do we have all these other divisions if they're just moving up to open eventually? But I think every division has their place.
Of course.
Not everyone can move up and do that.
Yeah.
Some people
I saw again, going back to casual fans of bodybuilding, I saw a comment saying is a newcomer and he's spanking all of these open guys, and I'm like, newcomer?
He's been top 3 at the Olympia multiple years.
What do you mean newcomer? That's a seasoned bodybuilder right there. And he just made the decision to stop limiting himself, and it's paid off very well for him.
And if you'd ever seen him in person in the off season, you knew this was
massive. He's massive.
When I did Toronto, he was there in the audience, and I remember coming off stage from prejudging, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
He was in New York.
What do you weigh? He's like, I'm 275, 280.
Yeah, I saw him. He was in Pittsburgh and New York, and I was training at Bev's, and he was there, and I was like, oh my God. There's no way you're making classic weight.
Yeah.
Now knowing, hindsight, knowing what we know now, I'm like, oh, okay, you didn't intend on making that classic cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I was in classic, but when I moved to 212, I probably could have stayed in 212 for another year or two before moving to open, because I think my last year in the 212, I was still only like 208 on stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could have refined that for one more year before pushing up to open and getting my butt kicked in the open. So, like, you know, I could have taken my time, done it a little smarter, a little more strategic with it, and a little more patient. So I kind of wish I had done that, but like there was no way I could stay in classic. I was dying to making weight.
All 7 of Flex Lewis's Olympia wins, he was 212 for all of them.
Yeah.
And if you look at his first Olympia win to his last, is 2 different bodybuilders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of refinement you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then it gets to a point too where by that last Olympia last couple Olympias, he would have looked better at 220.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So I went down and saw him when they first were kind of talking about making that jump to open. He was still in Florida at that time. And I flew down to go spend some time with Coach and train with them at that original Dragon's Lair in Boca. And I saw Flex, and I think he was like 225, 230 range, and like hard, grainy. Yeah. Like he looked like he was preparing for a show, but they were just slowly increasing his weight, and he looked crazy. It's a shame that we never saw him in an open lineup.
Yeah. We were all really looking forward to that.
Because when you looked at him, like, he was so dense. Like, so dense. Like, he looked so big. It was like, how is he making 212? But Coach Hill brought him on 212 on the button every year.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
It's another reason why I keep going back and forth in my head about whether or not I should have a coach again. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy coaching myself, but having that second eye, someone like Neil, that like he knows what he's looking at. He knows when to push or pull, or you know, like dial you in at that last, just on that last part. Like,
what I will say with Neil, man, is he makes my job easy because I throw on autopilot and just listen to him. I don't have to think. He pulls the reins back when it's necessary. You know, tells me to dig deeper when it's necessary. He's passion like Coach Hill has. Is just you can't fake that. You can't teach that. You either have that kind of passion or you don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Jason, you've thought about it. I mean, whether or not to go back with the coach or not. So it's
I enjoy.
Now's a great time.
But it definitely, I know how helpful it would be to have that second eye of someone just kind of like, I have no one to tell me no. So like when I'm pushing myself too hard, like I did this year, flattening myself out to looking worse. You know, if I'd have had someone like Neil be like, no, you look better when we were at 225. Now you're looking worse. You know, and I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. But it's you know how you get those last few weeks in your head, like you're not thinking 100%.
You almost it becomes counterintuitive, right? Because you're like, I need to push more. We need to be leaner. We need to be leaner. Yeah, that's what I meant when I said, you know, he'll pull the reins back on me.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when before I ever had a coach, and I coached myself to turn pro. You know, and my first couple pro shows, and I know I lost muscle for those because I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and I definitely lost muscle. And then when I got with Aceto, you know, he finally was like, you know, giving me my refeed meals, telling me to back off, take 2 days off from doing cardio, you know, stuff like that. And like in my head, I would have never done that because I'm like, oh no, I got to push harder.
Yeah. I mean, I commend the guys that can do it. They can coach themselves and can do it, man. I think that's great. Not me.
Yeah. I mean, I still like the look I brought in Tampa and Texas. I definitely could have been better though.
Right.
But for the first time coaching myself since 2017, you know, I'm not mad about the look I brought. I just know it could have been much better.
Yeah.
Mm.
But that's the that's the notes, that's the data that you take, right?
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
you learn
So,
you learn from it.
yep, that's all. That's its entire game. You just keep learning and improving.
That's the bodybuilding curse, chasing that never attainable perfection.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's what we do.
Hmm. And I love it. I love
Yep.
it. That was like, a lot of people were like, "Oh man, like you must be so upset," when I got second in Toronto, and I'm like, "It's bodybuilding, man."
Mm.
And listen, here's the other thing. I think we have the IFBB has the best bodybuilders, but I think we have the best judges as well. You
Mm.
might not you might not always agree with the outcome, but you have to respect it.
Yeah, I think it's gotten better in the last few years.
Yep.
Like, I do think there were some discrepancies years ago that
Yep.
a lot of people disagreed with, and now, like, even at the Olympia, you see we haven't had a returning champ for making this long run like we used to always have. It's not just you have to knock out the champ anymore. It's whoever brought the best physique that day.
Yep.
And I love how Tyler will go on and give a full breakdown of why he made that decision.
It's amazing that he's doing that, because not only does that give clarity to the athletes, but it helps, or I mean, in theory, it should help, fans understand as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of people, for one, we're not even there in person most of the time.
Mhm.
So a lot of times it's like, I don't agree with that, but I wasn't there in person. And
Yes.
fans, like you said, don't understand the difference between being there in person and watching.
It's staggering. It's staggering. The difference of you can have a great quality stream, but it's still not the same as like being in the crowd close up to the stage.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're judging based off of photos. There's a lot more than just like the complete pose. How did you transition into that pose?
Yeah.
How was your breathing?
How are the muscle fibers twitching and moving while you were moving and getting into the pose?
How was your stomach control? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more to stage presence than just like the final, okay, you're now in the pose, but how did you get into that pose?
Well, and that's a big thing I changed with even taking my check-ins this year. For myself, I was sending myself check-ins, but taking my check-in pictures, I've always just taken the pictures and kind of picked the best ones and sent to my coach. When I'm fully in the pose, hitting it just right. And so doing videos this year instead of just pictures. And then I'll, like, the first several times I did that, I'm watching the video back and I'm like, dude, what the hell was I doing? Just letting my gut hang out every time I turned into a different pose. So, like, I definitely had to, like, I'm like, I got to start doing videos every time to make sure I'm always thinking about keeping things tight between every single movement.
Yeah, I send when I do my check-ins, I send Coach Hill videos.
Yeah,
because if I he'll call me out on something. If he sees something that needs to be corrected, like in between poses, he'll correct it.
When I've just told my wife about this because I feel bad. If you look on my Instagram, the very top picture that I pinned is me and Kevin Levrone the morning after Tampa, and he put me through all these posings. He destroyed me in posing. I felt like the biggest amateur I've ever, like, you talk about someone calling you out, like, he's like, front relaxed. That looks like crap. What the hell are you doing? And I was like, oh shoot. I don't know. I thought I was hitting front relaxed. He's like, you don't know how to flex. He's like, you don't know how to flex your abs. I was like, I thought I did. I was like, and he destroyed me. It was so humbling. And I just realized the post says the full unedited YouTube video will be out soon. I never posted the YouTube video. I was so embarrassed of how amateur I looked in it, but I need to actually post that.
Have you ever posed for Steve?
No, I haven't. Besides on stage.
I posed for Steve this year. That was nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It went well though. But
I swear, when you're in a one-on-one situation like that with someone, like, Steve or Kevin, or I've done pose with Dexter Jackson. I'm more nervous doing that.
Than on stage.
Yeah, than on stage for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's so nerve wracking. Like, my anxiety goes through the roof. I'm like, they're right here and they're talking to me and they're picking me apart every time I make a movement. The one thing that was nice was when I turned to the back, which took like 30 minutes before we got to a back shot. Because he kept picking me.
You're gassed already.
Oh yeah. But then I turned to the back and he's like, "Oh, well, there's your money." He's like, "Your back shots are your best shots, man. You look insane from the back." I'm like, "Really? Thank you." I was like, "The judges always tell me to bring up my lats."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool to hear from him. But every other pose, he just destroyed me.
But that's good though, right? Because it's eye opening.
Oh, for sure. It was very humbling. So
I saw 1 year Dexter came and guest posed here in Canada in the city that I live in, and it was like a week or two after the Olympia, so he looked insane. It was really cool.
Oh, I bet that'd be awesome. Does he train out of California still, or
Dexter?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's in Jacksonville. He's just like an hour away from me.
Yeah, I know I've seen him in LA a few times, but yeah, he lives down there.
Yeah, he's up in Jacksonville, like an hour north of me. Yeah, we did a posing seminar up in Jacksonville at one of the gyms, and he came out to it. And then I was like a few weeks out from a show, like 4 weeks out or something maybe. So I asked him, I was like, "Hey, when we're done with this, would you mind taking a look at me and like run through the poses?" He's like, "Yeah, of course." So we ran through the poses, and then he didn't hold much back either. He was a little more forgiving than Kevin was, but I was shaky, man. He's like, "Why are you shaking so much, man?" I was like, "Because I'm posing for you, dude."
But yeah, it's not muscle fatigue, it's nerves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Very valid.
I mean, it's intimidating, especially someone like that.
Yeah, for me, it's just interviewing people like that. That's where I get nerved. You know? It's completely different. I get it. I'm in a different field, but
I mean, it's relevant.
First time I ever started
interviewing
people.
You're still a fan.
So.
Yeah.
And
I am
people
the
that
biggest of
like,
fans.
Yeah, you've been a fan of for so long. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why I got into being a journalist, is because I love these bodybuilders so much, and I want them to be successful. So, how can you improve them? Going to the shows, advocating for them, having people hear their voices,
give them a platform,
doing the fun, doing the fun editing afterwards, and making good-looking thumbnails. Like, that's all stuff I enjoy. So it's kind of like I found my own little spot. I'll never be like a pro bodybuilder
one day.
Your level. Yeah, this guy. Tell him the story of how you make your thumbnails. This is iconic.
Oh, my epic YouTube thumbnails, man. I screenshot a part of my video and I go onto Instagram stories and I put some words over it and screenshot that, and then I send it and that's my thumbnail. It's pretty amateur.
Check out Canva, the Canva app. It's really good for creating thumbnails.
My wife's good with the Canva app. Yeah.
So is mine. My wife's good too.
I just don't like waiting on anything. So I just want to I always wait till the last second. So I upload the video. I'm like, oh crap, I need a thumbnail. So I just do it.
Yeah, as you're uploading it.
Yeah.
Do you think Classic and 212 will hold back physiques from truly reaching their full potential? I think it depends on the individual. So for instance, like myself, I started in bodybuilding, switched to Classic. Once it became clear that Classic was a hindrance to developing my physique, we made the decision to switch to back to bodybuilding, to which I turned pro as light heavyweight and now compete as a 212. I'm still 10 pounds under the cap, so I have a long ways to go before that cap becomes an issue. For me personally, if that cap ever becomes an issue, I'll move to the open. I'll move to the open myself to continue to improve my physique. So me personally, I don't think it would become a hindrance, but there are people out there that become comfortable with the division that they're in, and it might be intimidating to move up. But this is kind of what I was touching on earlier when I said it'll be interesting to see who gets inspired to move up, with like Courage moving to 212, with Urs moving to Open. I think this is going to inspire a lot of guys to, seeing the success that Courage and Urs have had, to say, you know what, okay, let's move up.
Yeah, and I think it can hold certain people back, but like you said, those people are the people that, when the weight limit becomes an issue, they need to move up if they want to keep improving.
Yep.
But
and that's a key. That's key thing, right? Like,
yeah.
if you want to keep improving, then you have to commit to improvement.
Yeah.
When I started working with Neil, it was 2018, and I did the Arnold Classic as an amateur. To be honest, 2018, I should have moved back to bodybuilding. I stayed in that division for probably a year too long. But when I started working with Neil, I did the Arnold. I placed 4th. It was like, I actually took an early weigh-in option. I was able to weigh in on Wednesday. So I had all day Wednesday, all day Thursday to fill. And then we stepped on stage Friday, and I still flattened out on stage. But when I started working with Neil after the Arnold, he says to me, I wanted to do Vancouver, which was in June or July. And he said, okay, he's like, listen, win or lose, this is your last year in Classic. He's like, for you to reach your full potential, he's like, you're a bodybuilder. He's like, you need to move up into the 212, or at the time as an amateur, you need to move back to bodybuilding. And then I weighed in. My weight cap was 180 as an amateur. I weighed in at 180 on the dot that year. The following year, it was a totally different experience for me, because I weighed in at 196, but I had like 6 meals in me already. So I didn't have to starve myself and then start eating right when I got off the scale. I was eating all day. The morning after the show, after I turned pro, my wife and I went and did cardio, and then I stepped on the scale, and after cardio, I was 190, which means I put on about 10 pounds of tissue in that calendar year. So it just goes to show, when you're restricting yourself for that long of a time, your body is almost like a sponge, and it just wants to grow. It just wants to grow after. And that was my experience. And looking at what Urs is doing right now, I'm going to say it's safe to assume that that's the same experience that he had.
Yeah.
So 100%. It just boils down to the individual, really. If you're too stubborn to move up, then it'll absolutely hinder those people.
I think there's a slew of people, though, that just aren't built to be that big, and I don't want to say they're comfortable in the division they're in, but they fit in that division. They can still bring their best look in that division.
Yeah, and so like we just got the comment there. The goal is open, and I completely agree with that. The open is the pinnacle of bodybuilding.
But at the same time, there's a lot of people that, like, they know they're not built for open bodybuilding.
Yes.
But they still have the same passion. Yeah. And their passion is to bring their absolute best physique to the stage. And sometimes it just doesn't fit in open bodybuilding.
Yes, I agree. And so this is the thing with competitive bodybuilding on the professional level. I think it's important to be honest with yourself, right? Like you said, some guys they don't have whether it's the genetic capability to grow that tissue, or whatever it may be. They don't have the structure or whatever. And like, that's okay. That's okay. That's why we have these other divisions. But I think that comment, and I agree with that comment, for like the hardcore bodybuilders that have been dreaming about being pros since they were kids, that live and breathe bodybuilding on a competitive level. I think the goal is open.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I honestly, when I turned pro, my only goal was classic physique. I never even thought about moving up. And then when it got so hard to make weight and I couldn't make any more improvements, yet I knew my physique needed to make improvements, that's when I decided to move up. And then when I had moved up to 212, that's when my brain was like, I'm not stopping here. I'm like, I want to keep improving. I want to see what I can do. and I want to compete with the best of the best
Yep.
in the world. So that's when I was like, once I had moved to 212, it was kind of already in my head that I want to eventually grow out of this.
Yep.
But when I first started, I didn't think I was going to ever leave classic physique, to be honest.
It'll be interesting to see because obviously when I like opens the pinnacle of bodybuilding, right? No one's going to argue that. That's why they're paid the most. I think they should be paid the most, but I think I would like to see, and we're starting to see it already, but I would like to see the other divisions get awarded more prize money too, because if you could get some of these divisions to increase because I mean, like, let's be honest, man, and if you're an Olympia champion, there's only one Mr. Olympia. A lot of people get this confused. There's one Mr. Olympia. Mr. Olympia is open. There's a 212 Olympia champion. There's a men's physique Olympia champion. But there's only one Mr. Olympia, and that's the open Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. But I do agree. The other divisions, the money discrepancy is so extreme.
If you're an Olympia champion, in my opinion, the prize money that you win at the Olympia, you should be able to sustain. Life should be sustainable on that check for a year.
It should be a decent year salary for sure.
Yes, you should be able to live.
Not 50 grand.
No.
Yeah, I think that's a little like when you've got one division getting 600 grand and one division getting 50.
Crazy.
That's pretty insane discrepancy.
You could take 100 grand away and divvy it up amongst the other divisions, and I think that everyone would be happy, and that's still $500,000 for the open.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's still going to keep going up, I believe. I think Chris Bumstead's probably going to have something to do with the prize money for classic, but we don't have anyone doing that for 212.
No, and I think that's awesome that Chris is doing that. Sarah does that in some of these shows with women's physique, which I think is awesome as well.
Yeah.
So you have individuals like that are kind of leading the charge in that regard.
Yeah, she put up a good amount of money for the Texas for the women's physique.
Yep.
But yeah, there's no one doing that for the 212, and I know Keon's talked about it, but I know he's still competing. He's not in a position to do that yet.
It shouldn't be the
athletes shouldn't be his responsibility.
putting up the money for other competitors, right?
No, it would be cool if someone like Flex that like made the 212 division popular, stepped up for something like that just by sponsoring something. I agree with that comment too. I don't know why. I wish they would have it in the Arnold still.
Ever since Flex retired, 212 got dropped.
Yeah. But yeah, if the 212 had somebody that would help step up like that, I'm excited. I'm interested to see what Chris is going to do. I already saw that they're going to have the biggest booth at the entire freaking Olympia, the biggest booth in history of the Olympia.
Wow. What's that? Is that like Raw and Revive?
It's going to have all of them. Raw, ESN, because they're partners. That's their like European.
Oh,
partner.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Raw, ESN, Bomb Energy, Gymshark. So yeah, they're gonna have everybody out there. It's gonna be ridiculous.
It'll be good. I know he was excited and he announced he's gonna put more money into the league. But yeah, I'm really hoping somebody like Flex steps up with some 212 support and kind of makes that division financially as big as it is, I think, physically.
Yeah, and I don't want to put any pressure on Flex because it's not his responsibility.
No, right? Like he has a kid, like he has a family.
Think of that, like
on that scale.
That would be on the same scale as like Bumstead to do something like that.
Yeah,
and that was his division. So that's the only reason I throw it at Flex. I'm not trying to put any pressure on him.
Right.
Start a petition. Flex, are you watching this?
Yeah. But he's just like, it was his division. He made that a legacy in that division. And, I know like that. So his name's just the one that comes to mind. He retired out of that division and stuff. So, yeah, but I'm sure there's other people that could step up as well.
Well, what I will say though, is I think Keon's doing an amazing job leading the charge right now. The way he conducts himself, he's traveling all over the world. So I think he's doing a great job at bringing attention to the 212 division. I think he's a amazing 212 Olympia champion.
For sure.
Yep.
Not
Great
just
ambassador.
physique wise, but how he conducts himself and the attention that he brings to the division, the traveling that he does. I think he's doing everything that you would expect an Olympia champion to do for the division.
So I think we can all pretty much agree that he's going to be almost unbeatable at this year's Olympia. But
he'll hang on to that title until he decides to move up.
Who do you think is going to be like up there battling right there with him though?
So Sean, of course. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing his name. Niat, Patrick Tours guy, young kid. He's like 22, 23. Absolute phenom.
He won
beautiful muscle bellies, lines. The shape and structure on him is incredible. So I think he's going to be great to see. It's going to be interesting to see Courage in that lineup now.
Kareth just took 7th in an open show.
Dude, like Kareth is another tough guy. And he's only continued to progress as well.
He looked insane in Texas. So
he did. Yeah, he looked really good.
And I think he's still under the 212 limit in the open show in Texas.
Yeah, or not far off from it. We have Lucas as well, Brazilian guy.
Yeah.
What show did he win? Recently. Oh shoot! But he looked phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
I've competed against him before. He's another guy that's just complete head to toe. Yeah,
I think the whole Olympia is going to be an awesome battle.
When you look at the playing field, when you look at the scope of the talent in the 212 division, I Flex was iconic, right? And the thing with Flex and why Flex was so likable is because of how he was with his fans. Not only did he have an amazing physique, but I've never seen someone with my own eyes treat their fans the way that Flex does. I'll give you an example. There was one year at the Olympia, Flex was at a booth. I can't remember what booth it was. It was one of the companies that he was working with, but he stayed like an hour past his booth slot. And so they were like, he had to get out of there because he was competing that night. So I kid you not, there was easily 60 people lined up outside the booth still, like 60 to 100 people lined up outside the booth still to see him. So he came out and he's like, guys, I'm really sorry. I have to go. But before I go, I'm going to come and say hi and take a picture. And he did. He took a picture with every single person in that lineup before he left. And so I think, that's something that, really resonates with people and people remember stuff like that.
Sure. I mean, that's how Jay Cutler made his legacy.
Jay was the same way. Yeah.
So, by the way, that comment, I do not agree with that top 4 that he put up. I mean, I can agree that all of those might be in the top 5, but he left Kareth out, and Kareth was second or third last year. He was third, I think.
4th.
Yeah.
Was he 4th?
Keon, Sean, Angel, Kareth. I think, to be honest with you, I think.
How did Kareth qualify for the Olympia this year? Then?
He went to, I believe it was.
Oh, he went to Japan or something.
He went to Japan right after the Olympia and won that show.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Either way, he was top 4. I think
to be honest, and like this, I hate saying these things because I don't ever want it to be taken out of context, and it's just my opinion. But I think Kareth should have got 3rd at the Olympia last year.
Over Angel.
I'd prefer him over Angel. Yep.
And that's not a knock on Angel's an incredible bodybuilder. I think Angel's another one of those.
Absolutely peeled to the bone, striated everywhere, but
I think
the shape, just because of how short he is and how much muscle he has.
So, Josh? Do you remember what show he did right after New York? He did an open show, like a few weeks after New York.
Angel.
The difference from Angel at New York to when he did that open show is crazy. So Angel's another one of those guys that is being hindered by staying in the 212 division.
But at the same time, he's so short that he will struggle in the open because he's so much.
Look at Hottie.
He's won open shows though.
Yeah, he has won open shows. You're right.
Yeah, so he could do it.
But I mean,
I think
he's never going to be top 10 at the Olympia. I don't think.
I think
in the open.
Angel is not like relatively the same height as Hottie and Derek.
You think?
Yeah,
thought
I
Angel
think
was
so.
a couple inches shorter.
Maybe
But
an inch.
I could be wrong. I've never stood on stage next to Angel, so
Yeah, maybe an inch shorter. Yeah. This show.
I mean, it's a lot of muscle. It's a lot of muscle.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I just can't see where he's going to put on any more.
Yeah, you want to know what though? We've been saying that about Sean for years, and Sean somehow continues to get better every year.
True. And you know what? Sean's a good point when we're talking about people like being hindered by the 212. Like Sean still gets on stage in the 180s. You know, like he's not being
enters
hindered.
open shows.
Yeah, he's not being hindered by anything. He just brings his best look.
Yeah, but he's also under the cap, like by quite a margin.
Yeah, but he's also 5'1", so
yeah. He's
Well,
not
yeah.
hindering himself
Clearly
in the
is a
sense
freak.
that like he's squeezing into a weight cap, right?
yeah. So, well, it's getting time to eat, I think.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm getting a little sweaty, and I'm not even on the level you guys are.
That is true. I don't know how old Angel is, but yeah, Kareth's, you know, I know he's in his 40s, 45 or so.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Angel is, but
I think he's got to be like early 40s as well, or close anyways.
yeah. So, I mean, and that's another thing. I keep going back to this. I feel like a broken record here, but that's another thing with the whole hindering the weight caps and stuff. I think once you get about that age, it's probably healthier to not try to keep pushing more and more size.
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm 45 and I was doing well in the 212, like if I push up to open, what am I going to have 1 or 2 more years of
Right.
and probably never really make a name for myself in the open.
Right.
But you're making a name for yourself in the 212 by placing in the top 3 at the Olympia.
In a situation like that, it's important to assess like risk versus reward.
Right. Yeah. The drugs you'd have to take to really push into the open, just not even that, but having to eat so much food and walk around at a heavier weight. It's just the blood pressure is so much on your heart. Yeah. I don't think at 45 or so it's really worth it to really.
Man, I'm feeling it at 32 sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Same.
So
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Yeah,
Well, thanks
any
for
final
having.
questions?
Well, no, it was a good surprise seeing you on here, Cody. I didn't know you were even coming on.
Yeah, I didn't know that you're. Josh kept it a secret until last second.
Yeah.
Told me that you were coming on. So
Well, I was gonna do a chat, but I was just like, they'll figure it out.
yeah.
No,
It was a pleasure, boys. Thanks for having me on, Josh.
Are you gonna make it out to the Olympia?
I'm not sure. So BSN's not going this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, BSN's not going this year.
I just figured since you're planning on moving out there, you might just
Well,
go out there anyways.
I might. Pure Life Peptides. We're thinking about maybe going out. I'm thinking about just going down anyways to spend some time with Neil after the Olympia. He's insanely busy right now leading into the Olympia, but depending on his schedule, his travel's crazy. He travels more than anyone I know.
Yeah.
But depending on what his travel is like after the Olympia, I might go down to Vegas just to spend a couple weeks with him after anyways. So I might be there.
Making it out to the Olympia, hit me up. We'll get some
for sure.
workout in or something.
Absolutely.
Feeling good.
Absolutely, bro.
All right. Well,
All right.
time for some steak and vegetables.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Until next time, boys. Thanks for having me on. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Good chatting
right.
today.
Thanks, Cody. Jason,
boys.
as always, thank
Have a
you.
good one, man.
Cheers.
See you guys.